Thank you for joining us today. I'm Balaji, Customer Success Manager at Zoho WorkDrive. And I have Gautam here, who's our Customer Success Lead with me. And he's managing the chat throughout the session. So if any questions come up at any point, just drop it here. Today, we're doing the official Phase 1 launch walkthrough for WorkDrive 6.0. This is the biggest release we have shipped in a while, and I'm genuinely excited to walk you through what's in it. It's a 30-minute session, and we have 15 minutes of Q&A at the end, and let's get into it. Quick introductions. I work with customers every day on getting value from WorkDrive, from initial setup all the way through to the advanced feature adoption. I'll be leading the walkthrough today. And Gautam here leads our customer success team. He's got an eye on the chat the whole session, so your questions are in good hands. Drop them anytime and he'll surface them during the Q&A and while the session. Here's our agenda. We start with some context on why this release exists, the shift from file storage to content intelligence. Then we go through the 4 sections: AI capabilities, workflow automation, governance and control, and accessibility. We'll finish with a recap and open it up for questions. The total runtime should be around 45 to 60 minutes, and the features marked beta or early access on the slides are available right now, and I'll call them out as we go. Before we get into the features, I want to spend a minute on the problem this release is built to solve. As you can see in the headline, your files hold more than you can currently access. And I want to be specific about what that means, because this isn't a storage problem, it's an activation problem. 4 things happen in most organizations. First, knowledge is hidden. Critical information lives inside documents, videos, and recordings, and you can only get to it by manually reading every page or replaying every recording. Second, workflows stop at your org boundary. The moment a vendor or a partner needs to be involved, you are back to email chains and manual coordination. And third, teams spend hours just searching, hunting for the right file version, navigating folders, trying to remember where something was saved. And finally, governance is reactive. Security controls and compliance policies get set up after something goes wrong, and it is not proactive. That is, before sensitive content leaves the organization. WorkDrive 6.0 is built to address all these 4. Let me show you how. This release is organized around 4 themes. You can see them on the screen: content intelligence, workflow automation, governance and control, and accessibility and UX. The content intelligence: Xeon files, media summarization and transcription, AI-powered file suggestions, data templates with 1,000+ custom fields, and enhanced DLP. And the workflow automation: Zoho's MCP integration. More on that in a moment. External user workflows, custom functions with Deluge, and OAuth 2.0 connections. And the governance: Marcus Final, folder archival, version history in preview, external sharing controls, the redesigned admin dashboard, large file management, duplicate handling, and custom use. And under accessibility, so we have WCAG 2.0 through 2.2 compliance, Linux for TrueSync, improved screen reader support, and customizable views and layouts. I know that's a lot. Let's go through each one. This is one of the features I'm most excited about in this release. You can now ask natural language questions directly inside any file in WorkDrive, and Zia will pull the answer straight from the file's content. Look at the screen here. Someone has opened a file in preview mode, typed "give me the total invoice about asset properties," and Zia returns the answers precisely from the document. No scrolling, no Control F, no reading through every page. This work across a wide range of formats: PDFs, images, audio, video, Zoho native formats. For audio and video, the limit is 1 GB, and for other formats, it's up to 10 MB. And for PDFs, the first 100 pages are indexed. And a real example that resonates with a lot of our customers is what were the pricing terms the customer approved? An exact clause from a 50-page contract returned in seconds. This is in beta right now, which means it's live and available for you to start using today. This one builds directly on the same AI foundation, but applied to audio and video. Zia now automatically transcribes and summarizes audio and video files stored in WorkDrive. So instead of replaying a 1-hour meeting to find one decision that was made 47 minutes in, you open the file and you have a full transcript and a concise summary ready. You can see both capabilities on the screen. Transcript gives you the full context, the summary pulls out what matters, and this is immediately useful for any team that records meetings, runs customer interviews, creates training content, and works with voice notes. The time savings compound quickly. So in beta, we have file sessions. So this works in the background. WorkDrive analyzes your activity patterns, your access history, and what your team is working on. And it surfaces the most relevant files before even you search for them. You can see it on the screen. The file sessions panel show balance sheet, important laws, company policies, the Q2 financial review, each one tagged with why it's being surfaced. You frequently accessed, your team frequently accessed, with the last access timestamp right there. It's available in the file sessions tab in the left panel, and for teams managing large folder structures or switching between multiple projects, this cuts out a surprising amount of low-level friction. Data templates have been a part of WorkDrive for a while. In 6.0, they become significantly more powerful. You can now create more than 1,000 custom fields per team and make up to 1,000 of them searchable. That's enterprise scale content classification. The big update in this release is the data template assigner. Admins can now control precisely who can associate or dissociate a template for a file or folder. Two options: all users, any user with edit access can associate the data template, or specific members or groups. Only the people you designate can do it. You can see this in the Create Data Template dialog screen. The Who Can Associate control is right there in the setup flow, clean and accessible. The important nuance: even users who can't associate a template can still update the field values once it's associated. So your classification governance stays tight, but your teams aren't blocked. Last feature in this section is the updated data loss prevention framework. This is available in the business edition. So what's new in 6.0 is the dedication that we provide for the detection rules are significantly more intelligent. 3 new capabilities: multi-keyword identifiers, group related terms into a single rule for contextual detection rather than isolated keyword matching. You can see an example on the screen: special clients mapped to a specific list, regex identifiers. So these help with detecting structured patterns. So these could include account numbers, ID formats, invoice codes. The Zilka invoice ID rule that you see on the screen is a good example of what it looks like in practice. And you have PHI detection. So this is automatic flagging of protected health information. Patient IDs, medical records, insurance details, and this is significant for healthcare organizations and any business handling regulated data. And the practical result: a patient intake form shared externally gets flagged automatically before exposure occurs. This is based on the content, not just the file name or folder location. Next up with section 2, we have workflow automation, the content that acts, not just sits. This is the most forward-looking feature in this release, and it's in early access right now. WorkDrive is now integrated with Zoho MCP, the Model Context Protocol. What this means in practice is you can connect WorkDrive to over 950 Zoho and third-party applications and let AI agents, whether it's Claude, OpenAI, Copilot, or Cursor, read the context of your files and execute multi-step actions across your entire tool stack. Look at the Add Tools panel on the screen. WorkDrive MCP is active, and the agent has access to Zoho CRM, Zoho Projects, Zoho Mail, Zoho Books, Zoho Invoice, Slack, MailChimp, and more, all in one interface. The example that makes this concrete: so move the finalized presentation to the approved folder and share it with a client. The agent moves the file, applies the right permissions, and sends the share. One prompt and done. No coding, no manual steps. You describe what you want and the system figures out how to do it. If you want into getting the early access, the link is zoho.com/MCP. So Gautam will also share you the link for you to easily access it. So again, the link is zoho.com/MCP. The one that you see in the screen right now is live, and it answers something I hear from customers constantly. WorkDrive's workflows previously worked for internal users. As of 6.2, clients, vendors, and partners can participate directly in governed workflows. You can see a real workflow on the screen. Christopher started a workflow, left a note for the partners. Summer Jane is listed as a partner participant. Matthew Lee is the approver, and his feedback is right there in the thread. Looks fine, we can proceed. The whole flow, external participant involvement, approver review, feedback, is inside WorkDrive with full traceability. Nobody sent an email, nobody followed up manually. Think about vendor complaints. A vendor uploads a certificate, that upload triggers a review workflow, it routes to the right person for validation, and an acknowledgement goes back to the vendor. Zero manual coordination. And next up, the third automation update is custom functions and connections. This is also live now and fully self-aware. Custom functions lets you write deluge scripts inside your workflows to handle complex business logic. Conditional branching, cross-system data lookups, and multi-app coordination. Connections provide the integration layer using OAuth 2.0, no manual token setup. You can see the connections panel on your screen showing Google, Slack, MailChimp, Zoho Writer, all ready to connect securely. The example on screen illustrates the power bill. A signed agreement is uploaded, it validates the contract values, updates the CRM, creates an invoice, and notifies the account manager. All triggered from a single file upload, all automatic. If you have used Deluge elsewhere in the Zoho ecosystem, this will feel familiar for you. If not, the documentation is solid and the interface makes it approachable. And next up, section 3, governance and control, built in, not bolted in. This one is exactly what it sounds like, and it solves a real problem. Once you apply Marcus Final to a document, it becomes ready for everyone. So it would be in a read-only state. No accidental edits, no one updating the version that was already signed off, no version confusion during audits. The workflow diagram on screen shows it clearly. Active doc, edits in progress. Marcus Final, approve. Read-only, forever. The audit trail is fully preserved at each step. You can see the feature in action on the right. The Austin Superfoods campaign file selected, Marcus Final applied from the context menu. This is ideal for contracts, regulatory filings, complaints documentation, final reports, anything where document integrity is a non-negotiable. Folder archival solves a problem that every organization has. completed project folders that you can't delete but don't want cluttering your active workspace. Now you can archive them. The folder is removed from your active view, but everything is preserved. Data, structure, permissions, full history. And if ever need it back, restore it in one click. You can see the archive team folder dialog on screen. It's straightforward. The description even tells you what exactly happens. Archived, no users can access the files and folders, but the data is retained. A practical scenario here, a project closes, the folder gets archived, and 6 months later, an auditor needs it. You can restore it in just one click, full history intact, no efforts from your end. This is a quality of life update that makes a real difference in regulated environments. Previously, checking version history meant navigating away from the file. Now, all versions are visible directly in the preview window. You can see the list on the screen. Version from March 19 marked as the top version. Version 2 from December 9. Version 3 from November 7. All right there without leaving the page. So you can switch between versions without any navigation. And you can compare revisions instantly. Take this audit scenario. Someone needs to confirm which version was active on a specific date. You can open the preview, scan the list, found in seconds. No folder navigation, no extra steps. Important updates to external sharing controls on this side. On the left, identity capture. When you create an external share link, WorkDrive now requires the recipient to provide their name and email before they can access the content. You can see the request user data field in the share dialog. Name and email are already set. This is on by default for all new links. You can always know who accessed your content. On the right, you have expiry on email shares. You can now set an expiry date when sharing directly via email. The date picker is right there in the share dialog. You can set it once and access is automatically revoked when it expires. No lingering open links. And together, these controls can close off the most common governance gaps in external sharing. Sharing related control here. On the left, you have embed customization. When you embed WorkDrive content on an external site, a client portal or an internal wiki, you can now have full control over it, how it looks and behaves. Size, layout, theme color, and for video content, playback settings like autoplay, looping, and whether to show controls, all configurable without any developer help. You can see the embed preview dialog on the screen with size, theme color, and appearance control. And on the right, you have editing controls for non-Zoho formats. Admins can now enable or restrict editing of Microsoft Office files and other non-Zoho formats through Zoho editors. So Writer supports .doc, .docx and others, and Sheet supports .xls, .xlsx, and Show supports .ppt, .pptx, all visible in the content settings panel on the screen. For IT admins and team leads in the room, admin dashboard has been redesigned. The top panel on the screen shows storage at a glance, 5400 MB used out of 12.52 TB, team folders by usage broken by folder, my folders by usage by user, and a file activity trend, everything visible without digging. Below that, the large file listing, you can find the biggest storage consumers in the both admin console and in my folders. The example on screen is striking. A 3 GB troubleshooting video and a 10 GB file sitting in the trash, spot them, archive or delete, reclaim the space. The practical outcome, storage hits 80%. The admin opens large file listing, spots the culprits and handles it before even the users notice. Practical updates on this slide. On the left, duplicate upload handling. When you upload a file with the same name as one that already exists, WorkDrive now detects it automatically and gives you a clear choice. You have update existing items, keep both items, or skip existing items. You can see the upload options dialog on the screen. No more accidental overrides. And on the right, you have customizable file listing. You can now add columns to your file, sort by the owner, size, date, or file type, or choose between list, thumbnail, and compact default views, and save those preferences as default for your team. The Manage Columns panel on the screen shows the available options: name, last modified, time created, size, type, and extension. And for teams managing large file volumes, consistent views across the teams reduce a lot of small friction over there. The last feature that we're hitting here is accessibility and UX. WorkDrive is advancing toward full WCAG 2.2, 2.1, and 2.2 compliance at both A and AA levels. In practical terms, improved text clarity and contrast, full keyboard navigation, and significantly better screen reader support with improved labels and semantic structure. You can see the accessibility controls on the screen. So increase contrast with 3 levels, display font size, and with a live preview and text spacing for readability optimization. And these are real usable settings. The one I want to call out specifically is Linux for Troosing Desktop. Troosing creates a virtual drive of your WorkDrive account on your desktop. You can now browse, open, and manage files without downloading. This was previously available on Windows and macOS only, and as of 6.2, it's on Linux too. And that opens WorkDrive to engineering teams and any organization running a mixed operating system environment. Now, let's take a step back and look at everything together. Content intelligence, 5 feature, ask on files with Zia, media summarization, file suggestions, data templates with 1000 plus fields, and enhanced DLP. And with workflow automation, 4 features, Zoho MCP connecting 950 plus applications, external user workflows, custom functions with OAuth 2.0 connections. And under governance and control, we have 8 features: markers final, folder archival, version history in preview, external sharing controls, admin dashboard, large file listing, duplicate handling, and custom views. And under accessibility and UX features, we released 4 features. So the WCAG 2.0 to 2.2 compliance, Linux for TrueSync, screen reader support, and with customizable views and layouts. That's 21 features across 4 themes, all live in your account right now, unless you see a beta or early access label. Let me bring this back to what it means for your team. 3 outcomes from this release. Find and use knowledge 100x faster. Ask Zia a question inside a 50-page contract. Get the exact clause in seconds. No scrolling, no keyword search. Automate beyond your org walls. A vendor uploads a compliance certificate and a full review workflow triggers automatically. 0 manual steps, 0 follow-up emails. Finally, you have governance with compliance. 14 plus new controls, PHI detection, identity capture on share links, expiry controls, logged final versions, built-in on by default. WorkDrive 6.0 is live. Everything I've shown you today is in your account right now. So here's what I'd like you to try next. If you're new to WorkDrive, start your free trial, 15 days, no credit card, no hidden charges. The landing page is on the screen and Gautam is dropping it in the chat as well. And if you're interested in the MCP integration, head to zoho.com/MCP to get early access. That link is also in the chat. Gautam has already sent it. He'll also send it to you again. And if you're already a WorkDrive customer, everything we covered today is live in your WorkDrive account and you don't need to do anything to get it. Just go explore. And for everyone, we'll send a follow-up email after the session with the links to the recording, the landing page, the MCP sign up, the blog post, and the forum post that we sent out for this release. Thank you all for your time today. I hope this gave you a clear, practical picture of what's in WorkDrive 6.2 and how to start using it. The recording and all the resources, landing page, MCP link, blog post, forum post will be in your inbox shortly. If you have any questions after the session, reach us out at support@zohoworkdrive.com, and for our European customers, support@eu.zohoworkdrive.com. Have a great rest of your day, and thank you.